Well, the next presidential elections are still more than 2 years away, but a flood of endorsements are already pouring in. Political affairs analyst Dr. Ibrahim Modibo joins us now for more on this developments. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight.
Thank you, Ngozi.
Let me start with the very latest developments. You know, listening to President Bola Tinubu there, making statements that we have actually been arguing about. Even in the newsroom, we're wondering exactly what the president means. I'd like to get your thought on that. First off, is Nigeria officially a one-party state? What's your reading of President Tinubu's statement when he says, let me speak to those who say that Nigeria is a one-party state, or maybe drifting into a one-party state? It is one party that is ruling right now, a party that's taking Nigerians, taking them in the direction of their aspirations, and on and on and on. Do you read in the president's speech that he actually endorses or is telling Nigerians that a one-party state, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it?
Thank you for this question, Ngozi. Nigeria should know that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a very intelligent man. He is not in any way pandering to the whims and caprices of sycophancy. People have been thinking that Nigeria is moving or gravitating towards a one-party state. Let me tell you, Nigeria is too sophisticated. It's not these banana republics or these small countries in sub-Saharan Africa that will be moving towards a one-party state. Any right-thinking politician will know that, look, we have men of credibility, men of substance, and also politicians that could stand up to any time to form political parties and then move towards elections. Let me tell you, in politics, 24 hours is such a huge time that people will meet. They are always meeting in the darkness. They don't come in the daytime to start announcing that we are meeting today to form political parties or to form opposition. Although there is institutional opposition, the institutional opposition is still lacking as it is today by way of pronouncements or attacking the government, looking at the policies of the government, and also offering alternatives. It is not there. But I can tell you, Nigerians will have politicians of character and distinction, and people that will meet within a very short time to give Nigeria another political party that will fight the government at the center. You
speak very confidently, but just for emphasis, these are the exact words of President Tinubu. I just need to tell all those who say a one-party system is no good. You don't blame a people bailing out of a sinking ship when they do not have life jackets. I am glad for what we have, and I'm expecting more to come. This is the game. Welcome to progress. Sweep them clean. I think it was very clear in what he was saying, that his party is the party of choice. But I need to ask you, with all of these endorsements coming in from the party structure across the country, the NWC, the governors, why do you think we are having such wave of endorsements barely 2 years into a 4-year term? What does that say about the internal democracy, first and foremost, of the APC? Because this automatically shuts out anybody else who tries to run against the president. Should he even agree to run? He hasn't spoken to say, I will run, but he accepted the endorsement today anyways. I need to add that to that. But the question really is, why do you think it's coming so early? And what does that say about the internal democracy of the APC?
I just want, if you ask me, of him being the only person that will stand for elections under a democratic atmosphere such as ours, in a party, governing party, it's okay for him. He could accept the endorsements. But this endorsement from all these crannies, nooks and crannies coming to Mr. President, it is broadening the spectrum of insensitivity and also gravitating towards a corridor of deceptive impunity. Because for few people to sit under an air-conditioned place and just offer endorsement of over 200 and something million people, I think that is deceptive impunity. Nigerians have their own votes. And the whole political class, if you could look at it in Nigeria, the whole political class are no more than 500 people, 500,000. And therefore, Nigerians know where it pinches. And let me tell you, this lavish display of endorsements is not even good to Mr. President. Because for now, only 2 years on the saddle of power, are they saying, in all honesty, are they saying that Mr. President has been able to fulfill to the yearnings and aspiration of Nigerians? Is insecurity, has it been conquered? The economy, in terms of the way of putting food on the tables of the people, has it been achieved? In terms of devaluation of the naira and what have you, has Nigeria recovered? Although we must, congratulate, or commend the central bank governor for bringing out policies, but I think the major economic driving force, like the Ministry of Finance, have not, or the economy, has not been able to propel the will of progress of Nigerians so as to make Nigeria feel to the betterment of some of these economies. Have we been able to look at education? In terms of education, today a professor that has spent over 20 years is just collecting about 500,000 naira salary, while an illiterate is a councillor is collecting almost getting to 1 million naira. How can education prosper? Have they been able to look at the issues that has to do with even this jam? A lot of people fail because they are not even computer literate, and they are not been able to be taught by people that have been tested and trusted.
In other words, you think this is a distraction from governance?
Of course, of course. Mr. President knows it. It is a distraction. Even if they say Mr. President is the only one that will come up, at this point in time, it is too early to give this assessment or endorsement barely 2 years, when we've not seen any input. Because if you look at the security situation in this country, has been overwhelming. The whole security architecture has simply collapsed.
So in spite of all of this,
let me just land,
yes, very quickly.
If I were Mr. President, believe me, by today, I would have asked for resignation of National Security Advisor, the defense chiefs, the ministers, 2 of them, defense chiefs, all of them should go. Otherwise, I'll sack them. Because it has shown clear cluelessness and incompetence. And I think, in all honesty and sincerity, Nigeria must tackle its security situation. Once you tackle the security situation, people will go back to farms, people will have a sense of belonging of Nigerianness, and also there will be no threat to national security. So this political stability will be there. But in as much as you don't tackle corruption, you don't tackle insecurity, you have not been able to look at the issue of corruption head on. President Bola Tinubu is not sacking anybody. Whether he do good or not, he's not sacking. Therefore, to me, he should have started sacking so that people wake up from slumber.
But the president says, in giving account, at that speech, he said, look, we've tackled corruption, we've removed arbitrage in the system, we've removed, we've come up with economic reforms that are working, tax reforms and all of that. The president is giving himself a pass mark on his performance so far in 2 years. You respond to that. But what do you think really is driving these endorsements? And what do you think it portends for overall governance?
You see, let me tell you, as I've stated, these endorsements are nothing short of a kind of people that are just, to me, the political class. Nigeria's political class has been driven by a ravenous and greedy political class whose common objective is to meet and maybe share the spoils of office. These are people maybe that are in office looking for the crumbs to eat, or people that do not appreciate the demands and dynamics of operational democracy. It presupposes in a democracy you must be up to stand up to some of these challenges. We have to turn challenges into opportunities for the common good of the people. And therefore, to me, the time of assessment as it is today, it is not right. We must give Bola Tinubu, he has history by his side or behind him, to support him, to see if he will be able to turn these challenges to opportunities. By the 3rd year, this thing should have come. But as it is today, they are challenging Nigerians. And believe me, the masses are looking.
But do you think all this talk about coalition is even, giving oxygen to, even the governing party, where it now has to think about 2027? Is it a panic mode that we're seeing with the APC, with the president, and with all of these endorsements? The National Assembly, the legislature is endorsing the president, the North Central governors, the NWC of the party, on and on. Everybody seems to be endorsing the president.
Well, they're all...
the APC caucus in the National Assembly.
Yes. The whole thing is that, you see, as APC, they have the right to endorse those endorsements. Let me tell you, President Bola Tinubu came in with a lot of goodwill because of his performance when he was the governor of Lagos. And looking at the track record he has been able to set at that point in time has given him, the latitude for people to appreciate, his policies and programs. Now, as it is today, all this endorsement, I can tell you, free of charge, that these endorsements are not even healthy to our democracy, are not even healthy to Mr. President, because these people that are endorsing, how many are they? They are not up to 500,000, Adesu and Madam Ngozi. And therefore, Nigerians have the last say. Nigerians have, you know, the cards. And let me tell you, this, the opposition, it is time for them now to stand up to this narrative. Because as far as I'm concerned, we have to look at, we have to be circumspect from where we're coming from and also where we're heading to.
Okay, Dr. Modibo, we need to go. But this is a yes or no question. Do you think that this helps the opposition strategy now that they know what they'll be up against? Even though you say the greatest endorsement is the endorsement of the masses.
Yes.
Is this do you think this will help the strategy of the opposition? Yes, no?
Let me tell you, it is flinging open the strategic issue of Mr. President, and the opposition can capitalize on it.
Great. We have to go. Political affairs analyst, Dr. Ibrahim Modibo, thank you so much for joining us for this conversation.